Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching from Leadership TV. This is the Friday edition of the program. My name is Afa Acho and Salifu Usman is right here at me. Salifu, welcome to the weekend edition of Sports Orbit.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
All right, and on today's edition of Sports Orbit, we'll start straight from basketball, where yesterday, some have said it that finally the Minister of Youth and Sport Development inaugurated the Engineer Musa Kida led the NBBF board yesterday at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. He described the inauguration as significant for the growth of basketball in Nigeria and a forward leap in the mandate of the ministry in superintending and supporting federations for the development of sports. He challenged the new board to embrace reconciliation and review of its constitution to ensure inclusiveness. In his words, he said, "For the records, this is the only board recognized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and by extension the federal government of Nigeria. Let that message go out clearly to the president, the vice president, and other members of the new board of the NBBF. The task of developing basketball is now under your watch. It now lies squarely on your shoulders. Our job at the ministry is done. We expect you to deliver for our country, for our athletes, and for development. We believe that teamwork, understanding, and cooperation are prerequisites for achieving the board's goals and objectives." Well, Salifu, this inauguration finally has come to place. Some stakeholders are still divided over this, but some have asked why it took the ministry so long to now give what you might call, in quote, legality to the Musa Kida led board. That's one. And secondly, where does that put the Mark Igoche-led faction of the NBBF? Are they going to take this line down? Because as it stands, if the sports minister is saying, look, this is the only board recognized, and by extension, this is what the FG recognizes, so it then now means that Mark Igoche calling himself a president will now mean that he's been impersonating the authentic NBBF.
Well, thank you. Sometimes the Nigerians will always say, the more you look, the less you understand. And it's really disheartening. I think if the minister, Mr. Sonny Dara, is not trying to set a bad precedent in these situations, because when you wake up in the morning, you tell people in the morning that this thing is black, and later in the afternoon, you say no, it's purely white, and you agree that this thing is white. And in between the morning time where you say it is black and the afternoon, people now ask what has transpired between that morning where you say it was black and now in the afternoon you say it is now white. Okay, the quotes are everywhere. The statement from the office are everywhere, where you clearly acknowledge that there are two factions in the basketball. You clearly acknowledge that there are two elections in the basketball and that you did not recognize any. Okay, none of the factions, as I'm aware, gone to court
to challenge
to get legal backing. So on what platforms, on what places are you now saying that okay, what you now say that you now say okay, these people are now authentic in between you. There's no any arbiters anywhere. Nobody has come to join. Okay, between these people, put the two elections by the side, or any competent court of the church has come to clear this thing. But it's to me, as far as his view, the Kida has met his personal experience, his own expectation, what he feels, and he now give him their legal backing. Well, so be it. All we are interested in is the development of basketball in this country. Nobody take personal glory in the crisis. And in as much as I'm not a fan of Goshen, neither am I a fan of Kida. All we wanted to see, but why some people tend to see that we always see that Goshen has clearly demonstrated that he's interested in the development of basketball. It's somebody who have seen, and the proofs and the evidence are there to everybody to see that this man clearly means well for the development of basketball by his action and by his antecedent. But why the same cannot be seen of the other people, of the Kida in particular. But since the ministry feel in their own judgment that Kida is the authentic president and they are giving the backing, well, I hope that message will go well with the Kida negotiation group, who are largely backed by the basketball player. But even the basketball player who are largely behind negotiation, not that they are getting any personal attraction or any personal endorsement from negotiation. All that there's somebody who have given them hope, who have told them clearly that they can give them opportunities and put that platform for them to play and for them to play and exercise what the law have to do best. And that is why they're always with him. And but since all we have, if we hope the opportunity given to Kida will now use this opportunity to develop basketball and to clearly, basketball is not, I keep on inside of everybody, you can take it to anywhere. Basketball is not about competitions at international level.
At all.
Before you go to international basketball, is what is your commitment and your commitment of basketball development in your home country. You can't claim it to be a basketball giant of basketball, whereas you don't have a league. You don't have a league. You don't have a functional league.
Very well.
So, but well, Minister Sean Dari is the representative of the government. He's the president. In the eyes of sport, he's the president because he's presenting the image of president. Whatever any statement he makes, it's like as if it's coming from the federal government. It's coming from the president of Nigeria. So, President Muhammadu, since he feels that Kida have made his own criteria and the federal government criteria to be deserved to be inaugurated, and they have inaugurated. All we wish that we hope that the kid, just like he see, the ball is now in their court. We can only wait. Let in the next 5 months, highest in the next 5 months, we should be able to clearly see where they are going to clearly see the whole part they are trying to create for the development of basketball in this country.
All right. Members of the board, Engineer Musa Kida, who is president, Babatunde Ogunade, vice president, Abba Kaka, as member of the board, Professor Yakase, Professor Adeonju, Adamu Deshi, Ugo Udezwe, Okoro Victor, Olumide Oyedeji, former international, Suraj Yusuf, Felix Awogu, Colonel Sam Amedu, retired, while Njoku Peter is the Secretary General of the newly constituted board. Away from basketball to some football, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria, another international friendly is on the horizon as they take on Costa Rica in an international friendly at the San Jose on the night of November. The NFF's FIFA match agent Jero Pechon told the NFF.com on Thursday that the Super Eagles have been invited to the Central American nation as part of the major activities to send forth the national team of Costa Rica to the FIFA World Cup finals in Qatar. The game is scheduled for the National Stadium in San Jose and will kick off 8 p.m. Costa Rica time, which is 3 a.m. Nigerian time on the 10th of November. Costa Rica hosted this year's FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup finals, where Nigeria's Falconers reached the quarterfinals, defeating France, Korea, and Canada in the group phase. So another friendly for Nigeria, apart from the one lined up for Portugal is 17th.
17th of December.
This one is 9th.
The Costa Rica match is coming
earlier. So for someone had jokingly said, since Super Eagles
is not going to the
World Cup, they are helping other teams to prepare to get teed up for the World Cup. Just escorting other people to go and compete.
Honestly, after this is not funny. It's like other teams have found as a training material.
But that's what it is. Whether I like it or not, that's the truth of the matter.
It's really funny. Well, we hope that we'll get ourselves back. We have turned to training material for the Qatar World Cup. But well, it's also in as much as people are joking about that, that's why is being used as a training tools for prepare other team for the World Cup. It's also an opportunity for Super Eagles. Super Eagles are also taking the chance to prepare themselves for
AFCON. Exactly. So these are 2 back-to-back games. So it's another opportunity also for Pesero to show us that he's capable of doing the job.
So to me, I think I still see it as a win-win situation.
Absolutely.
It's not all bad for the Super Eagles. In as much that they are not going to the World Cup, but they're also using it to prepare themselves for the AFCON qualifiers and other international matches lined up for them. We'll have AFCON coming up next year in 2023, and then the qualifiers are also on.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Stay tuned.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. You're still on to Sports Orbit. Now to some others news. Is talking about Scrabble, where World English Language Speaking Scrabble Players Association Championship winning captain Cyril Umebie and former African champion Femi Awade top the list of players who will hunt on the board for honor at the second installment of the Patrons Cup, which begins today in Lagos. The Patrons Cup is a tournament created to give individual players who are not featuring at the Mind Games Scrabble Premier League the opportunity at getting engaged at the closing stages of the tournament. Over 40 players, including Abiodun Adeyemi, who is the head of Nigerian players in diaspora, have confirmed their participation in the tournament, which is fast rising in profile despite it being in its infancy. Hakeem Olari Bigbe created history when he won the maiden edition last year. And for this year's edition, 24 teams will be participating in the showdown, and they're already perfecting strategies. Most of the teams who are already in town are already camped in various parts of Lagos ahead of the competition, which begins today. So, I mean, seems a lot of federations up and doing so for Scrabble, not wanting to be left out, also have a competition which is starting today in Lagos.
After it's like if you look at all the almost 33 federations we have in Nigeria, the most busy federation in Nigeria is the Scrabble Federation.
Very well. Yeah.
But it's just like sometimes they don't get the media attention.
You know that we keep saying that once football moves of exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scrabble hardly go by any week.
Yeah.
The record are there. For anybody to go and verify, they hardly go by any week in this country that there's no any form of Scrabble event, international, either regional competitions or international or national competition in this country. Scrabble is the most vibrant and the most busy federation in this country, and it's also one of the federations that have done this country proud. Out of 13 African championships, Nigeria only lost one. They have won 12 all the African championships in this country. And at the same time, it's also one of the championships that Nigeria also go internationally as where English speaking is not our mother tongue. We just
very well.
But Nigeria went to the World Championship to win a Scrabble World Championship in the person of Jegede Willington. And several, if you look at all the top 10 ranked world best Scrabble player, Nigeria have almost our 6 players. I can't be sure, but have our no less than 6 players in the top 10 world ranking. Yeah. And if you come to Africa, we keep on dominating. If you are to ask to select the best 10 African Scrabble player, you can't find any other national in the top 10. It must all be Nigerian.
Very well.
If you even extend this, let's go to top 20. All the top 20 you can only find. If I tell you by mistake you find any other national within the top 20, it may be either likely from Ghana, either likely from Kenya, whatever, and you can't even have up to 2 other national in the top 20 African best Scrabble players. So Scrabble has been very dominant and very bad, but it's only have little attraction and little media presence. If not, it's the most vibrant Scrabble federation everywhere. So, and the president of the Scrabble Federation, Mr. Toki Aka, has always been up and doing. He won, and even his predecessor, Suleiman Gora, who just stepped aside the last election, those people are committed. And one thing about Scam Federation that no, you can't find it in any other federation. They are self-sponsorship. They finance their program by themselves.
Exactly.
And he has done well. So kudos to them. And the particular championship you mentioned in Lagos is one of the events that have just been introduced just to carry some people who feel
exactly.
in the league to provide opportunity not to be just those
to be able to compete. All right. To another federation which has also done very well is the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, where the president, Engineer Musa Nimrod, has donated balls, equipment for beach and indoor volleyball equipment to 7 North states to boost development of the game in the country. Nimrod equally extolled the potentials of breakdance as a sport, as a tool for youth development, presenting the items worth millions of naira to the sports directors at the volleyball courts of Ahmadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna. He said he appealed to the states to ensure the equipment is optimally utilized to develop the game in the zone, which includes the likes of Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, and Zamfara. He said the essence of the donation of the balls is for the development of the game of beach and indoor volleyball in the northwest zone. He said, we want to improve the game, and I want to appreciate God that our zone is producing talented young players, hence the need for this support to see more improvement. So once again, congratulations to Musa Nimrod. I mean, what else can you say about him when it comes to his contributions to volleyball? I mean, this is someone who single-handedly, ensure that volleyball stays afloat in this country. And he does his thing not just by talking on the pages of newspaper, but he actually does the action, not just by talking, but matches his action with words.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Musa Nimrod has done well in the game of volleyball, has given a volleyball all the attraction and all the attention it deserves. And one may ask, why Northwest? He has been, not that he has only donating ball to he has always been doing that across the country. But if you also look at it, if you want to break it down, he does this one particularly. Remember, he's the president of the basketball volleyball federation. But first and foremost, he was elected into the board of volleyball federation, representing Northwest. So he's a zonal representative of Northwest on the board, even as a president of the federation. So, and that is why he is giving back to the zone where he's come from. First and foremost, that is like it or not, he's from the zone first before becoming the president of the country, and he needs to pay back to where he's coming from. And whether you like it or not, he's also a politics. And if he need to come, if you want to get anything on the board, you need first of all to get the backing from where he's come from first. Before he can even think of getting anything national. So, and Musa is somebody you can't accuse him of being saying that of this one-sided. He has been doing that across the country. Go to Imo State, go to anywhere across the country. They just came back from Akure, where they played the National Division 1 League in Akure, Odo State. And he has been doing a whole lot of things in this country when it came to the game of volleyball. And then kudos to him again. And the essence of this thing is to fish out young talent.
Exactly, like you said, for development strictly, So up to some international football news where PSG and Argentina star has confirmed that this year's tournament, that's the World Cup in Qatar, will likely be the last World Cup of his career. He announced the news of his future with Argentina national team yesterday. He said, "This will be my last World Cup for sure. The decision has been made." Messi, who is 35 years old, told Argentine journalists in that one. The former skipper is set to play in his 5th World Cup in Qatar after making his debut at the 2006 edition in Germany. He has scored 6 goals in the previous 4 editions of the tournament and also led his country to the final of the 2014 tournament in Brazil, where they lost 1-0 to Germany in extra time. I mean, he'll be one of the very few people alongside his other rival Ronaldo to be playing in their 5th World Cup. I mean, what an achievement! Because playing in even one World Cup is it's not an easy thing, talk less of playing in 5 World Cup consecutively.
Yeah, there are some great players who never have a chance
to even play for
one World Cup. The former World Player of the Year,
George Weah.
never had a chance to play the World Cup. The former Manchester United legend, Ryan Giggs, never had a chance to play the World Cup. There are several names players, you can think and you can mention, you can call. And for Messi to going for the 5th World Cup consecutively, and not that he just went to this World Cup to sit on the bench or to watch the match.
He played a very key important role.
The only World Cup he was not fully involved was the 2006 in Germany, where he was just a young player then. So he has been good, but what one can only wish him that maybe as Qatar will be his last World Cup, maybe that will be the last opportunities for him to finally touch the elusive trophy. And wish him luck. Either he announced it on that at 35, by 2026 when next World Cup he'll be 39 or probably 39. So age may not be on inside that time to play another World Cup. But we can only wish him well, and he can retire well with the World Cup trophy. But it's not a gift. It must something that he must work for it.
Yeah, very well. Anyway, to some Europa League results of matches that were played yesterday in that one. Early kickoff, United versus that team from Cyprus, where a lot of people couldn't even, some on social media called them Omonile, some said it was Omoni Oboli, and all sort of names yesterday. And although they had given United a scare earlier on before United made some changes and come back to win that one 3-2 away. Well, for Arsenal, it was 3-0 against Bodo Glimt. While for Midtjylland Feyenoord, it was 2-2 in that one. While the Feyenoord youngster who currently is doing wonders in Europe, Cody Gakpo. I mean, currently he's almost at pair with Erling Haaland, and he seems to be a very dangerous player as he's coming up. Also 23 years of old for Olympiacos. They lost that one 3-0 to Karabakh, while Freiburg defeated Nantes 2-0. Other matches, FC Zurich lost 1 goal to 5 to PSV Eindhoven, while for the likes of Rennes, it was 2-1 over Ukrainian side Dynamo Kiev, while for Roma, Betis had to come back and strike late for Roma to lose that one, and Jose Mourinho was left furious with that game. Well, that's for the Europa League.
Yeah, interesting matter. And if you look at the other result, there's no much surprises. Except that the only match would have been surprised if Man U have also lost that match or played draw yesterday. And it's good that the Hag has to go deep, makes the necessary changes, and the team bounce back and the down. If not, if they have followed to lose that match yesterday to a relative known club from Cyprus, I think that could have been another pressure after suffering a heavy defeat to a city rival. But it is good that the Hag showed that he has what to think and he has know how to think and then to look at it tactically, that he can prove himself always right. And it was a good victory for United yesterday. Congratulations to United. For Arsenal, I think it was expected that Arsenal should win that match, and which they did convincingly.
All right, to our final story before we leave Premier League matches for the weekend. Interesting matches to look forward to also. Of course, it will be Bournemouth at home to Leicester City. Chelsea, once again, Potter will be hoping to, extend his winning run to 3 as they welcome Wolves, while for Newcastle, will be at home to Brentford. Man City, we'll be hoping to continue from where they stop against Southampton, while for Brighton, Gay will welcome. Brighton has been doing well also. We've been welcoming Tottenham down. Tottenham, we're hoping to bounce back after that defeat at the Emirates last week, while for Crystal Palace at home to Leeds. The London derby is there, Fulham versus West Ham, while biggest match of the weekend will be Liverpool taking the trip to Arsenal at the Emirates, while for Everton, they will welcome United, while Nottingham Forest will welcome Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa in that one. That comes up on Monday.
Hopefully, maybe they'll put their miserable performance to end and get the result against Aston Villa. That will be on Monday. But interesting training. But the most match everybody will definitely want to look at is Arsenal Liverpool.
Obviously,
Arsenal title credential will come under heavy test again. And if you go to on Twitter and everywhere, everybody is urging.
And knowing that Liverpool haven't also been
But
consistent.
But when they came against the big teams, a club like Arsenal, they'll definitely wake up from their slump. And Arteta, he needs to prove that either he has the material to compete for a title. I think after all hope that he will get the result against Man United, and they were beating mercilessly. So he need to prove that yes, he's up there among the big boys in the EPL. Because anything short of victory against Liverpool, it clearly shows that Arsenal is not yet ready to compete for a league title. Because if I even look at the fixtures, it's like these fixtures this season is not being fair to Arsenal. I'm not comfortable that Arsenal is playing all the big matches at home. In the first stages of the league, they hosted Tottenham at Emirates, and now Liverpool at the Emirates again. So by the time we are going to the second stage of the league, where the league is getting closer, then you'll be forced to travel to all the big teams to go and play there at their home, and that will put you in a precautionary situation. But I said, Arteta, if he has to convince his fans and convince every other player that Arsenal has the material to compete for a title, Sunday is the D-Day, and he has to prove against Liverpool for that. And Man City, no doubt about it. They'll definitely Haaland is done. All of them. They'll definitely continue from where they stop when they host Southampton at the Etihad Stadium. But sometimes football it's not always 1+1. When we expected that they were, you underrate the Southampton.
Well, sometimes these middle table teams can be very dangerous. They just come and frustrate you,
just like Crystal Palace did.
Exactly.
So you can never tell. And another interesting match that will also be Everton United. Likely going to be another interesting match for both sides. Lampard, if you look at Lampard and his team, you may not say they are up there, but if you look at their match recently,
he's gradually getting
the result, and he's beginning to have his rhythm in the EPL, and hosting the United at Goodison Park is another opportunity for him to prove that yes, he has a chance to compete in the league, and mostly we can't wish our own man, unless he will be, to always be there and do what he's doing so far. And just like you say, Tottenham may not have fun easy against the Britain, because they have been doing well so far in the season. This one, and then for Chelsea, Wolf. Well, Chelsea they are still smiling on their victory from the Europe, so they are hoping that they can continue from where they continue from there against the Wolf. But Wolves sometimes can come with a big surprise, especially like Wolf have a new coach. And
they just
so
their coach.
They check their coach, and they have a new coach, and the new coach would like no one to use Chelsea to prove that yes,
he deserves the job.
He deserves the job. And how the best way to do that is to get a result against Chelsea, and Chelsea will be careful against a wounded lion.
All right, so that's interesting matches to look forward to this weekend. We'll keep an eye on them, and on Monday we'll give you a complete rundown of the games as they unfold. That's where we call it a day on today and this week's edition of Sports Orbit. Salihu, thank you for being here on a wonderful Friday like this.
Thank you. So listen, pleasure.
All right, until we come your way again, do stay safe out there. My name is Afa Acho, and you have a lovely weekend out there.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.